You're listening to Castle Talk Radio. We're live on the airwaves with Becca and Jessica. Now let's jump into this week's episode.
Jessica, you know the trend going through social media about sharing your toxic traits? And it's like, my toxic trait is, I thought today would be fun for us to share our Disney toxic traits. And I've even asked people on my social, and I asked you to do the same. And now we're gonna share everyone's toxic traits. I don't know if they knew we were gonna do this to them.
Well, they shared it on a public page, so I think we're all good, and it's all in good fun anyways, because I have plenty, but one of mine, I bet a lot of you guys can relate to. Should I go ahead and share it?
Yes.
Okay, my toxic Disney trait is thinking that maybe just one of my dark ride photos will be in focus. I still take them. Like, that's more the trait, is that I'm taking all these dark ride photos and they come out a mess, but it's like, I just want that. All I need is that magic one shot in there to come out and focus. Hasn't happened.
Here's a tip that might work. I don't know, because you have an iPhone. I have Android with those amazing cameras. I have to rub that in. But some people swear by putting it on super slow-mo in areas, and then you can screen grab like a picture. I don't know how.
Try that.
You should try it, and we'll have to report back on that eventually. Okay. Yeah, I think that's like very influencer, blogger, like specific that we all do that. But one of my toxic traits is one that I think a lot of people do. And mine is definitely thinking I am still capable of multiple days in a row of rope drop to park close with no breaks, anything like that. I forget that my body is a lot older than it used to be. And so many people agreed with this one when I shared it on my Facebook page. They were like, me too. So I think that's a big one. It's why we always say to plan for 3 days or more, right? And get those tickets through our partners at Getaway Today, which you can do at getawaytoday.com/castletalk for our exclusive discounts. But one, you get a better deal with the 3 days or longer. And two, you don't have to do open to close every single day. You'll be fine. You can take the midday break. You can really take your time to do things, right?
Exactly. And you know what? One of the things that we love to do at Castle Talk Radio is to give you tons of tips and different ways to make your vacation like the absolute best that it can be. If you're enjoying the podcast, we would love for you to leave a review. We're working towards 50 reviews. And speaking of that, last week we played a little game where we played a sound of Disneyland. And Becca, is that fresh in your ears? Do you want to give a guess?
Oh gosh. So another one of my Disney toxic traits is I think I'll do really good at these things and I won't.
Yeah, I'm pretty horrible at it.
It sounded like it was from Fantasyland. No.
Let me play just like a teeny little clip again, just to refresh. And then anyone who wants to, let's just play it. Okay. So still sticking to that?
I'm trying to decide because I have two thoughts. My first thought is Fantasyland area, somewhere in there. But my other thought is it sounds like a live violin, like it would be the band that does the Pirates area. So I don't know.
I can't remember what that band's name is, but neither one is correct. This sound was from the Adventureland Treehouse.
Oh, okay. So that's why I couldn't pick it up. I have only done it twice.
So crazy, right? There's so many sounds throughout Disneyland. It's incredible. And when you're there, now that you've heard this, you're going to start like listening into those things. And we're going to play more Disneyland sound mysteries in the season to come. So be sure to listen.
Okay, that was good. Now I want to spill some other people's toxic traits.
Oh, definitely.
So I'll do one from my page when people responded, and we can agree with them or not, and then we'll do one from
Okay.
yours, and we'll kind of go back and forth. Okay, so Steph, who is one of the moderators in our Disneyland Kids Facebook group, and she also has her own podcast. She says, "Mine is thinking I make enough money to go every month." Same. Like I think I have so much money that I could go as often as I want, and that's not true. I'm really having to watch how many times I'm going now.
Oh, isn't that like the worst dilemma ever? Like, where are my Disney dollars and how quickly they run out? We all need more of those. Okay, let me share one from my Facebook page. Tina says her toxic Disney trait is making a list of all the foods I want to try. That includes so many things, not even a professional competitive eater could eat that much.
I'm not a foodie, but that's my husband.
There's so much food, especially when you're going during like a festival or something. You're
Mhm.
never going to be able to eat it all. There's so many good things. Okay, give us another.
Okay. I'm just gonna throw in one of mine because I it's food related. So my toxic trait is I will mobile order food and wait for it to be ready like in 10 minutes rather than stand in a line that's maybe 2 minutes long for the standby. I'll still just
That
mobile
is
order.
great.
I'm like, it already applies my discount for me. I can
Yes.
hold my table.
You don't have to pull out your wallet. No, I go with that. I think that's
Like, it doesn't
less
matter if it'd be
toxic.
faster. Yeah. I don't
Mhm.
care that it would be faster to do the regular standby line. I'm gonna mobile order if it's available.
Oh my goodness. So another one from me, well, not from me, but from Nathan, who shared on my page, his toxic Disney trait is being obsessed with the operation and maintenance of a facility like Disney and talking about it so much that it annoys everyone. Now, I don't know about everyone because I think this podcast audience is a good place to do that. Those type of things fascinate me too. Maybe not so much the maintenance, but operations,
Yeah. Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with that one. Brandy, who is another one of our moderators in our group, she says that hers is thinking that her family won't be grumpy after going for 5 days straight. How many parents,
Yes.
like, how many times do we hear, I paid a lot for this, and they're grumpy, and the kids are grumpy? Yeah.
Yeah, vacationing can be stressful, especially if you're the one that puts everything together because you're so, I find for myself, like, I want everyone to be so pleased and have these certain reactions, be so excited, be so grateful for all the things. And sometimes you don't get exactly what you're looking for. And you're like, how can you be sad or how can you be upset when I've put in all this effort? So I get it. I feel you on that.
All right, what's another one from your page?
Okay, Kayla says wanting to rope drop even though the rest of my family wants to sleep in. Then, this is where the toxicity comes in. I proceed to loudly and aggressively get ready in the morning as punishment for their laziness.
I love it.
Like, whoops, didn't mean to turn on that light. Oh, shoot, I can't quite see. I'm going to open the blinds. Yeah, because
Yeah,
we know how
yeah,
important rope drop can be to save you time waiting in line, but it can be tricky when you have those who want to sleep in.
yes, and we know Kayla, and she has told me multiple times how her husband is not a rope dropper. He does not want to rope drop. Okay, I'm gonna do one more for mine. Actually, no, I'm gonna do two more, but we're gonna start with Jessica's, Jessica W, not Jessica that I'm talking to. Hers is mine is forgetting to eat unless I have dining reservations. I can go all day on churros and popcorn. I think a
Whoa.
lot of people do that. They just snack, snack, snack all day long, and that's fine.
Mhm.
Calories don't count at Disney, right?
And then sometimes you feel like you haven't eaten anything. Like at some point, you're like, oh, wait a second. So dining
Mhm.
reservations for her is a win. But keep the churros coming, keep the popcorn coming, and we'll just have a fine and dandy day.
Definitely. Okay, what's another one from yours?
Let's see. Okay, what about this one? Oh, Alexandra says, thinking I'll be able to talk my kids into trying more rides once we're there and they see it. Oh gosh. So every time she's like, I think they're going to be able to try this. I think they're going to be ready. And my comment to her was many a dollars were spent on souvenirs/bribes.
Yeah. Remember when my husband spent like $200 to bribe my kids to go on Guardians when I wasn't with them?
That's exactly what I had in mind.
Okay, here's the last one that I want to share from my page because a lot of them were duplicates. Okay, so Wendy, our friend Wendy, was the one that shared this first, but other people said the same thing.
Mhm.
And it's thinking that I can stick to my budget while at Disney.
That is so true, especially when you're mobile ordering and you're not even getting out your wallet, like we talked about. When you're just in all that pixie dust, you can't see the dollars just flying out of your bank account.
Right. And especially if you start getting into things like spirit jerseys or lounge flies or mini ears or one of our new favorites, Magic Band.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
even Disney
easy.
pin trading, those can be expensive. Or collecting, because we
Yeah.
like to collect them and not even
Mhm.
trade. And, those are like usually start at around $12. They can easily go up into the 20s for some of those
Yeah.
bigger or more exclusive trading pins.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so do you have any other toxic traits that we should know about?
Me, definitely. I'm sure I have a ton. But I don't know. You probably be better at saying
To
what one
tell
of my
to spill yours? Okay, Jessica's toxic trait is she always thinks that she's going to be able to stay out late.
but I did beat you this
She
last
has
trip.
started, yeah. Well, I didn't even try this last time, but she has started once in a while staying out pretty late at the parks, and I'm pretty proud of her for that. But she's always like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna stay for fireworks," and then she's like, "No, I didn't make it to fireworks."
Yeah, it's a lie. It's a lie. I usually don't. So that's definitely a toxic trait for sure. So do I need to share one about you?
Go for it.
I would say one of Becca's toxic Disney traits is skipping a locker and carrying around all of your gear in your backpack. True?
I usually do carry all around because the problem is I don't want to have to run back to the locker to get something.
It's just
I
toxic.
just rather have
No,
it. I just rather
I
have
know.
it on my back.
I know. Sometimes you're just like, okay, do I care about it this much? Or it depends on the heat too. You're like, if it's really hot, I'm not
Yeah.
gonna have something touching extra on my back. But
Yeah.
so many toxic
If
traits.
it's like yeah. But if it's like a souvenir, like something that I'm not gonna
Oh
use in the
yeah.
parks, like a popcorn bucket or something, a lot of times then I'll put it in there. But I will tell you, I will always prefer to use the ones out in the Esplanade on the
Mhm.
harbor side than to use ones in the park because I always worry that I'm gonna forget to if I park hop to get to the other park before it closes or whatever
Yeah,
and get my stuff.
exactly. Good point.
So we all have a lot of toxic Disney traits, but you know what? I think Disney toxic traits are better than other types of toxic traits and they're more forgivable. So we're going to be okay with that. We want to know what your toxic trait is, and we'd love to have you give us a review for the podcast and also make sure to tell us that toxic trait in that review. And we will see you next week here on Castle Talk Radio.